Friendship Bootcamp is a reboot for your social life. It's a fresh start. Nobody's born with good friendship skills, and most people don't learn them in school or from their parents, so many people aren't that great at it. Friendship Bootcamp is for people who are serious about upgrading their social life. It's 5 years of research compressed into 90 days of accelerated growth. Each participant has 6 sessions with a friendship coach where they're given homework to do. It's not an easy path, and not everyone makes it through. But for those who do, they will forever change the way they think about friendship.
I'm Ashley, by the way.
Hi,
She,
Ashley.
her.
I'm Kale.
This is me. Lovely to meet you.
Right now, at this time of my life, I've sort of become okay with not having any close friends and just kind of being resigned to my solitude and the things that I like to do by myself, and not really needing a whole lot of company. And then it hits me. And then every once in a while it hits me and goes, man, it would be really nice to have somebody along for the ride on this. Or I really wish I had somebody to talk to. To be honest, I am at a transition in my life right now. I moved to Vancouver about 4 years ago with the intent of being able to pursue acting, something that I'd put on the back burner for quite many years. And so the last one would have been October 2019 was the last play I did. And it was called Dracula, the Bloody Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Professor Abraham Van Helsing. What you've just witnessed is a lie. Bram Stoker stole the events that happened to me and my friends.
I dropped out of acting. I had an anxiety attack due to one of a very important acting workshop with a very important Hollywood director with a lot of other people on the Zoom call. That also with an injury, work-related injury, and not being able to work anymore, I found myself in the winter of 2021 without a job, without a hobby, without any friends, and wondering, what the heck am I doing here?
My first session with Kale started as all first sessions do. We identified his challenges to work on. We identified some of his interests where he can meet potential friends, and we're going to apply the friendship process to these interests.
The friendship process can be broken down into 3 stages: finding potential friends, the friendship audition process, and maintaining and deepening friendships. The goal is to meet interesting people that make a good impression on you, see if they're a good fit for you, then make the time to maintain this friendship. The problem is that many people don't make the time to audition new friends, or they have no audition process at all, or they just take on way too many friendships that they can handle.
It's interesting going through these questions because a lot of these hang-ups or uncomfortable spots I might not know. There's a lot of people who don't know why they're bad at friendships or creating new friends. Some people don't know what their strengths are either. It's interesting. These questions are definitely bringing stuff up for me to just be like, oh, wow, what is that?
My only concern with Kale is that his confidence and self-esteem is pretty low right now due to being in a state of transition. He also mentioned to me that he's been losing his hair, so he's pretty self-conscious about his appearance. That being said, we've agreed on his first bit of homework to do, and we're going to see if he does it.
What have I done? I've signed up to go to karaoke by myself. It's been years since I've done this. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm gonna take the bus because I might be stress drinking. But people first, right? Never mind that I haven't sung at karaoke in 2 years. I just can't help remembering all the times that I went to karaoke and nobody would talk to me. Okay, fine. There was a couple of times that I went to karaoke and nobody talked to me, and it sucked. I'm catastrophizing a bit. I don't know. We'll see what they got. We'll see what it's like. This is exciting. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay. Talk to you later. It started raining. I drove instead. I got there, walked in the door, and found out it's a Legion. You gotta take your hat off at a Legion. You guys, I am not ready to be the bald guy. It might seem incredibly vain to you guys, But I had hair for a lot of years. I don't now. It's been a week. Not since high school have I had to deal with not being able to wear a hat for comfort. And now when I'm feeling my most vulnerable without hair, I can't. On my first time getting out after this 2 years of pandemic nothing.
Everyone gets their confidence and self-esteem from somewhere. Confidence comes from your abilities and accomplishments, but these can change over time. Confidence is outward-facing and is often easier to build than self-esteem, which is inward-facing. Self-esteem is how we feel about ourselves, which is crucial to the friendship process. There are 3 simple steps anyone can do to boost their confidence and self-esteem. You can improve your conversation skills, become a better listener, become a better communicator, and just be more present and in the moment when you're with people, which is really the art of friendship. You can become better at taking the initiative to organize hangouts with friends on a regular basis and not wait for others to take the initiative. Most importantly, you can remind yourself of the great qualities you have to offer as a friend, such as being trustworthy or patient, being reliable, or just being kind. I think Kale knows that friends and potential friends don't really care about what you look like. What they really care about is how you make them feel when you're with them.
So anyway, I'm gonna put on a more smart shirt, and I'm going back there right now. I'm going back. So tonight worked out as good as it could possibly have worked out. Getting back into the groove of things that you're used to, going to a bar, singing karaoke, you're getting a sense of the place, you're sort of noticing some people that are regulars. So I'm sitting at the bar, and then I go up to sing my song, Ahead by a Century, and I was not on my game. It's been 2 years. My voice is shot. I honestly didn't expect the amount of personal interaction. I came back to the bar and 2 guys said, "That is a hard song to sing. Kudos to you. Fantastic," and started up a conversation. And we started talking about 90s music, which is my forte, and we bonded. 2 guys, Anthony and Carl, and they both, when I started to vibe with them a little bit closer, voluntarily gave up their phone numbers. Not just like Facebook or let's hook up on Instagram. It was phone numbers. We're regulars at this bar. We want to see you again. Very validating. Very, very cool. Really neat guys. Anyway, they were really my types of people. Made me feel welcome in this place. The fact that these guys would interact with me, even though I've got no hair, I'm wearing these glasses, I just really appreciated it. Being out of the game for so long, you sometimes forget how awesome people are. People are awesome. Okay, so I just got back from Tuesday night drum circle at Stanley Park, and it was pretty wild. When I got there, it was small, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger until it was like this huge party. Got a little overwhelmed, but it was good. Met a couple good friends, hopefully, and we'll definitely go again. Hey, so I just got back from Wednesday night karaoke, and I left because I was feeling uncomfortable. Wasn't really feeling into the karaoke night, and so I left. I tried a karaoke place last night too, at a bar I'd never been to before, and sort of felt the same way. Just not really interested in talking to anybody. And, the thing about being down is people catch on to that and they don't want to talk to you either. Nobody wants to talk to a depressed person. I'm kind of the worst person to be doing this friendship boot camp thing because I can be really outgoing sometimes, and then I just get down sometimes, and it's when I'm in a funk, it's really hard to get out of it. That's usually what you need good friends for, is to pick you up out of moods like that. Just started to feel like the old karaoke crowd of people who just show up. I know the routine, right? So they show up, you get your songs in, everybody's complaining about the same things, and I'm just not interested in it anymore. I'm not interested in bars. I'm not interested in people getting drunk. I'm not interested in small talk, and it's tough because when I feel like this, I don't really feel like I have anything to offer anybody in a conversation either. There are reasons why I like karaoke and why I like drumming, is these are things that I can do without needing to be with anybody or know anybody there. I am there for the activity, and I honestly don't care if any lasting friendships or acquaintances come out of it.
Most people get depressed during the friendship process. It's completely normal. The trick is to build resilience, to build inner strength so you can bounce back and avoid burnout. The first thing you can do is start keeping track of your emotions so you can understand the shape of your depression. How long does it usually last? What usually triggers it? And what usually helps you get out of it? The second thing you can do is to have the right mindset so you can pace yourself and manage your expectations. There's the rock climbing mindset and the hiking mindset. Both pathways get you to your destination. But with the rock climbing approach to friendship, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to make friends quickly, where every move you make has to produce results, and where every potential friend you meet has to turn into an actual friend. So there's much more of an emotional risk and feelings of rejection involved, and you often feel alone with this approach. With the hiking approach to friendship, it's a slow and steady pace where you see the friendship process as an adventure, where it's an opportunity to reconnect with who you are, what you're all about, and who would be a good fit for you to join you on your journey.
When I really make a friend, I want to love them. I want to give them myself. I want to share my life. I used to be a funeral director, so in funeral directing, it kind of encompassed everything. It had that science aspect, but it had that deep emotional aspect of grief and what does a person mean to somebody, and what does it mean to lose somebody that you really love. It had that sort of mysticism to it where you're questioning religion and the afterlife and things that we can't entirely prove at all. I have had, several significant friendships in my life that were terminated prematurely. I guess, the underlying question is, what's wrong with me? It's, loss is loss, just as relationships are relationships. You lose a friend, you feel like you've lost them to the world.
In a way, we're victims of our own economic success. We've moved so much of our attention onto making enough money or having enough power in our jobs or wherever that we've forgotten that success is actually about relationships. We have allowed ourselves to disengage from each other. And I think of so many people who say, I don't feel belonging. And when they say that to me, and they say I'm lonely or I feel like no one loves me, what I always ask of them is, who do you know who currently might feel the same? Reach out to them and offer them love, and then tell me that no one loves you. We're waiting to get our connection rather than providing it. If we wait, we'll be waiting for the rest of our lives.
I was at the beach that day, and I came down after work. I rode my bike. Friday night, so we had our regulars. We were all sitting at a table. It was probably 6 of us. I saw Kale, and he sang a Tragical Hip song. He was wearing a Tragical Hip shirt. And I just said, hey, that was really good. Do you come here often? And I guess he lived a couple blocks away, so he's a genuine guy. That's what I like the most about him. He's just, what you see is what you get.
I love it. You know what I love about Andrew? Andrew calls me on the phone. Hey man, what are you doing? You know, I love that. Nobody does that anymore. Yeah, I kind of lucked out with Andrew. He showed up just at the right time. Even my mom thanks God for this guy.
Yeah, she said, I think she prayed and she said, thank you, Jesus, for bringing me Andrew or something.
Without this process, it could have been very complicated and daunting and discouraging. For me, it was great because it brought organization to the chaos. I was pretty scared to get out there again and start talking to people and being around people. I don't feel that way anymore. I think that's what Friendship Bootcamp has given me is just a lot of options so that it doesn't all feel so overwhelming anymore. There are steps to these things, and sometimes you have to be patient with yourself. There's a lot of important things going on in my life right now, but I'm really heartened to know that my friends can be a part of that it doesn't have to be one thing or the other. It doesn't have to be my life and my whole situation or friendship and fun. You know, one can sort of lift up the other.
So through this process, what do you think are the biggest strengths that you've developed?
A really, really big one was just getting over my fear of getting out. You might not believe that about me, but I was stuck in a rut for a long time. Most of us, we're all just bouncing around looking for permission to do what we love or to try new things. Also, the process has helped me foster a staunch supportiveness of my values and passions, fostering a relationship with myself. Sometimes we need permission for that too. And making close friends is what gives us that permission to love ourselves. It shouldn't be that way, but most of us, we need to see something before we can believe it. You can have this momentum of good people in your life that it makes it easier to be alone. It's like you can tell yourself in moments of solitude that, hey, the jury is in, man. You're a good guy. You're fun to be around. And eventually you start to believe it.